Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. Awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. I am sure majority of you are already familiar with Rodney King Jr.'s case and how his son was unalive, and also how uh, the cherry deputy was also unalive, right? So I am going to say this. Each time they tell you, okay, I think in Nigeria, they tell you police is your friend. I am sure it's also the same slogan that they will be using in America and other places. The cops are your friend. How exactly? Because the last time I checked, I don't think that is my people's case. It is never my people's case that you wake up in the morning and you see your child hale and healthy. And once you see, I don't know how black people live. I don't know how black people have that heart. Most times when their child are outside, because you don't know what is going to happen. Your child might actually come back home. They may actually not come back home. And you all know that police brutality is actually a thing. There are two judiciary systems in the United States, one for people that look like me and the other one for other people. I have actually seen videos, clips. I cannot bring them here because it got to do with like some kind of physical distance and all that. You see this man going straight up to a cop, screaming, shouting, probably with his Pe0pl and all that. There nothing will ever be done to them. You all already know. Louis Jean, where is he? You all already know what happened, what he did. He is a free man, right? Because they derive this happiness, the joy. There is this joy that comes from them when people that look like me are hurting. Let's get into this video.
What many of you are in the comments of my Rodney and Jr. videos, behaving as if you don't understand what's going on. Behaving as if you don't understand what would cause Mr. Rodney Hinton Jr. to do what he did. Not only did he watch his son be gunned down, that's enough. But what you also have to understand is that the United States has utilized the criminal justice system and the police force against Black Americans throughout history. And this is a form of bullying. So if a white man had done something like this, right? Let's say the first thing out of anyone's mouth would be like, oh my gosh, this is what happened. He lost his mind. He went, just because historically that's what everyone does, is they went around and they say, he had to have had a reason in his past for why this has happened. Was he bullied? Is he mentally ill? They will find all the excuses in the world, right? But when it comes to this black man, everyone just wants to see him as bad. Well, this is not the case. If I can jump into Rodney Hinton Jr.'s mind right now, when he saw that police officer, unfortunately, what he saw was the people who not only took the organization, who not only took his son's life, but who have been taking black people's lives from the beginning of time. They've been using, the United States actually allowed the police force to be used as bullies against Black America. Period. This is the historical fact. So he was not looking at that man. He was looking at the organization. The organization that not only took his son's life, but who he has known from the time he was a little child was going to come after him, whether he's innocent or not, because he's a black man. 18th and 19th century slavery. This is where early policing even started. 1704, the slave patrols were started in the Carolinas, right? Then you have in the early 1800s, the Boston police force. Those were developed from the slave patrols, okay? Then from the mid 1800s to the 1900s, you had the black codes. Those black codes were heavily enforced by who? The police force. Then you had the end of Reconstruction. The rise of the what? The Jim Crow laws, which was enforced by who? The police force. Often with violence and alongside other white mobs. And then we have the Civil Rights era in the mid-1900s, where everything was captured on film. When black people peacefully protested, peacefully did anything, guess who the threat was against the Black American people? The police force. And the police dogs. Then in the 80s and 90s, 1980s and 90s, you had all of it was targeting who? Black neighborhoods. Then we end up seeing Rodney King being beat down by who? the police force. All this over policing, and for minor infractions, minor, while there was under policing, okay, in other neighborhoods. Under policing. That means there was no balance. There was no equal treatment under the law. So the United States uses the police force as bullies. Over time, just like with any person in schools getting bullied, over time you see that group as what? A threat to your livelihood, to your future. They mean to do you harm. They don't mean to do you good. And now you see Mr. Rodney Hinton Jr. It hits home with him. His child is gone. So it is fair to say that Black Americans may see police officers not as protectors, but as threats, enemies, or unjust obstacles. And just like anyone who is bullied, that can lead to damage, psychological harm due to the repeated bullying. And that's just from the bullying. But then when everything climaxes to you have to watch your own child be snatched from this earth by the same organization that has been tormenting your people for centuries, there was definitely mental deterioration when it came down to Rodney Hinton Jr. And if you saw Mr. Rodney Hinton Jr.'s brother, you can tell there was generational trauma. Why? Because he said, y'all did this to us before. You did this to us before. You see that? So instead of going around thinking, he got the wrong guy. No, he actually got the right guy, the right organization. Because just like everyone goes out and defends who? White school shooters and say, oh my gosh, he was bullied, or oh my gosh, he was made fun of. Oh, he says, oh my gosh, we can see why. See why with Rodney Hinton Jr. Use that same logic. Except this is more than bullying. If you can see it for bullying, except this is more than bullying. If you can see it for bullying, you can see it for this. He watched his life blood be snatched. And you don't understand why this happened? I think you don't want to understand. You just want to see a Black person just be, quote unquote, a bad person. You don't want to see his humanity. You don't want there to be a mental, psychological thing going on. A mental lapse, psycho rage that happened. You don't want that to happen. You just want it to be just he did it. No, he didn't just do it. One of the most obvious ways that the police force is being used to bully Rodney Hinton Jr. and Black America is the fact that they pile in against Hinton Jr.'s family. Okay? They have no compassion. Yeah, sure, they lost one of their force. But one of your force also took the life of their child. But you don't want to make space for their own grief. You have made yourselves enemies even against their grief. As if they didn't lose a child. There's no balance. Many of you are in the comments of my Rodney Hinton Jr. videos behaving as if you don't understand what's going on. Behaving as if you don't understand what would cause Mr. Rodney Hinton Jr. to do what he did. Not only did he watch his son be gunned down, that's enough. But what you also have to understand is that the United States has utilized the criminal justice system and the police force.
Rodney Hinton. Let's talk about him. Good morning. It is a foggy morning in western Pennsylvania adjacent. So let's talk about Rodney Hinton real quick. First off, let's get this out of the way. If you support Luigi Mangione and you kind of vilify Rodney Hinton, you're missing the fucking point. I can't say as I would do any fucking different. Rodney, sir, I hope you're doing well. And you have my respect, sir. If you could honestly think you would do any different, well, fair enough. It's on you, I guess. The reality of it is now they're starting to know fear. You walk out, you see a cop. Now, I don't know about you. I haven't always been on the right side of the law. I mean, it's never really much scandalous. Just the normal bullshit. There's really no other way to say this, man. You know? Not all cops are bad. Correct. But the good ones not standing up and doing something about the bad ones makes them complicit. I don't have respect for law enforcement. The people higher up don't have any respect for laws. Why should we have any respect for its enforcement? That's really all I got. I mean, honestly, it's a very cut and dried issue. If you're making this more than it is, I fucking feel bad for you. Someone decided to take someone's life, and another person's life was taken in reprisal. This is the world you created, guys. Not you. Not you. I'm talking about the fuckers in the back who are wondering why everyone's being violent all of a sudden. You really wonder why. You created this. Welcome to the new machine. By the way, those of you who popped on yesterday to see me, Jonas Tinklebottom, really, playing live, that was fun. I think we're going to do that again. I think I'm going to call Jonas again. I think it'll be fun. You, my brown-eyed girl. Rodney Hinton. Respect.
Oh, the cop he got wasn't even the one that killed his son. Good. Because when that cop seen his son, he didn't know that was Rodney Hinton Jr. He saw a nigga. So when we see a cop, we on that same shit. Y'all worry about spending on y'all ops and shit, man. Spend on them niggas. They up something crazy. Spend on that shit. And respectfully, I don't want to hear shit about no policy or no politicking, because what's going to stop the next cop from doing that shit or make that motherfucker take a second thought? Ain't going to be no goddamn policy. They don't give a fuck, bruh. They run the system. But they don't run these streets. I don't give a fuck what they say. How many cop cars they got out here, they don't run that shit. You know what I'm saying? But what Rodney Hinton did, that's going to make the next cop think, damn, is somebody going to spin about this young nigga? We fighting too much shit at one time, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's up and it's stuck for them niggas from around the way. They know what it is. But it's some other motherfuckers that's got to be handled. You know what I'm saying? After that, niggas can settle up and do what they do. But this shit right here, this shit gotta end. They say an eye for an eye and the world go blind. And I say, what's to stop that motherfucker from taking the other one when everything you see as yours, he sees as mine?
These belligerents, these colonizers, these criminals, thieves, are not here to protect the indigenous people. They're not here to protect black people, brown people, aboriginal people. Somehow, there has been a misunderstanding where a lot of you are starting to believe that they are here to protect you. Have you not learned? anything yet. These are the same people that has colonized and destroyed so many countries and territories. How can you expect them to protect you? How can the same person who is inflicting the pain that you feel, that you know, that you have been seen, to protect you? You're chasing your tails to no avail. The police, these white Klansmen, these conehead idiots, are not here to protect you. They can't stay in their place because you've big up their heads to make them feel like something, to make them feel like somebody. So now they're out in the streets hunting black children, brown children, indigenous children, aboriginal children, men and women, as they please. And it's gotten so bad, they'll do it to their own as well. They don't care. They're not here to protect you. They're here to take from you. See, that man that's in your house, black woman, that's your protector. Your fathers, your uncles, your community, that's your protector. Your mother, your father, that's your protector. When did this happen? To where we have to stop looking within ourselves and we start looking on the outside for validation. Why are you voting them in to your lives? Why are you telling them, come on, please come into our community? For what? They are here to destroy, to manipulate, to divide, not to protect you. Colonizers, protecting and serving, servants. Protecting and serving is an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. You see, man in them, that's your protection. Your cousins in them, that's your protection. You, that's your protection. Not the police. When will you get it? When will you understand it? And it's not to say that there are some bad apples out there, because there are. But to expect the KKK members, the Knights Templar, those underground degenerates to protect you doesn't make sense. You gotta protect you. How many of you have forgotten that your mother told you not to get in a stranger's car? How many of you have forgotten not to open that door when I'm not home? They went out the door when you started getting them knocks. From those Jehovah's Witnesses, remember? Can I come in? Maybe those knocks from them Christians so that they could take you to church because you're a sinner. Forgot. There was a time where there was milk cartons with just little white kids on there. They couldn't find them because they're loose out in the streets. See, when your mother was telling you, be home at a certain time, it was for your protection, for your own good. While their mothers let them do whatever. There was on those milk cartons, remember? Now we see children like ourselves on milk cartons because we want to hang out with them, because you want validation from them, because you want to integrate with them. You want what they want. Well, look where we are today, because you want what they want. Because you couldn't be content with what you have. Sex trafficking, kidnapping, organ transplant, or harvesting rather. They showed you to replace your mother, replace your father. They removed you from the source, which is Mother Nature.
This is all I got from this video. And sincerely speaking, my heart goes out to, like, Black community, family that are going through it at this point in time, because this is actually not the best or the greatest period for their family. Now, I am going to say this for Black community. You and I know already how bad, it's been for people that look like me, that the police force, how bad they have treated people that look like me. And now you all know that Rodney Jr., whose son was Pe0pl, by a police, denied bond in killing because he unalived sheriff deputy after disturbance in court, right? So sometimes I ask myself, what did we do wrong? Where did we go wrong? What happened to, how did we get here? Louis Jean was a hero, right? Once it's got nothing to do with people that look like me, they are heroes. They are the master. They saved life. I mean, they will be given opportunity to go out and speak, to go out and talk. They think taking Black people's kids away from them is a joke. It is not a joke. It is not a joke that you will be with your child this moment and your child leaves. See, sometimes I am like, I don't know how you people do it, but the fact that you all have that strength to know that, I don't know, but sometimes I feel like your child is out and you don't know if he's going to make it back home and all that, That alone is a very huge burden that I see majority of you carry. They think it's okay to wake up and take away somebody's child, and then the parents will come out and give you a thumb up. That is also when I remember there was a time I told you people about a story. I've been saying this story here often, where a boy that went out, he went for protest, and on his way going home, he had an encounter with the cops. And while he was, the cops were trying to arrest him for doing nothing, for just walking home. And the young man started screaming, "My mother is waiting for me at home." I will never, ever forget this. Because that day I sobbed so hard, you know? And you can imagine so many parents that they have, so many kids that their parents were waiting for them to come back home. And they never made it home. And it happens to people that look like me. But then we have two judiciary systems, one for my people and one for your people. No matter how hard we try, no matter how hard we are, there is always consequences for us. They can easily walk up, their own people can easily walk up to a cop with a rifle, or what do they call it, and probably even say something to the cop. The cop will not say anything. Just being a black young man, they will probably at a stop and search. You stop, they will tell you to come down, you come down. And then they tell you hands up, your hands off, your hands are at the back, you do it, and they start tasing you. Why are they tasing you? They are always, what is it that make, I don't know, I don't want to use that word, because telling me that I feel threatened, it means I have something that I am holding, while I am not holding anything. The white man will walk up to them, say so many things, do so many things, but nothing happens. I cannot even speak to a cop from far away. Something else is drama. And then other people will wake up and gaslight you and tell you always, why is it that you don't listen to cops? Shut up. Shut up. You don't know what black people have been going through. This is also part of it. We see all this. We know all this. Black people experience it. If you have never experienced it, just shut F up. That each day, no day that passes by, that people that look like me are not, something is not happening to them. Police brutality going on. And somebody will still tell you that, who are you? Who are you to speak to black people on how to react when they are offended, how to feel when they are offended? You wake up, you snatch somebody. You know how many kids that they've snatched away from their parents, that they will never see them again. Think it's easy to bury your child? No. I'm ready for now.